In this video, we're going to take a look at how we can adjust the Sparkline graphs and make the minimum and maximum relevant to our data set. So as we've talked about in many different previous videos on Sparklines, the generic Sparkline is it takes the smallest value is the smallest line within that spark, and the largest value is the largest line in that spark, regardless of total possible points or possible, from 0 to 100 or whatever. So we want to make sure that our graphs actually look relevant to our data. And so we want to add in some specifications, some additional options for this. And something to help you with all the different options is that, one, notice that options are bracketed out. And so here's the bracket there. And then within the options, you've got chart type bar, and then you've got them separated by that semicolon there. So that is how you separate them out. And to learn more, I would definitely recommend clicking on this. And it's not a separate tab. It's actually going to be a help item over here on the right-hand side. And this gives you a lot of detailed information about what your options are. So your different chart types, line, bar, column, win-loss. We're going to have a win-loss video on this as well. And then for line graphs, here's how you can adjust that information. And then for column and win-loss, here's how you can adjust that information. And then bar was in here as well. I think I skipped over top of it. There's line and bars at the bottom. There's bar charts. And so we're going to talk about how to, on a column chart, and we want to take care of our minimum and our maximum. So here's what we're going to call it. So Y minimum, Y maximum. So if you think about your actual graph and your Y-axis and your X-axis. And so we're going to come up here to our function line, and we're going to throw in a semicolon here and put in quotation marks, Y min, quotation marks, okay? Separate it by a comma. And then what's my minimum? My minimum is going to be a 0. And so that's one option. And then I'm going to put in a semicolon again. And I'm going to do quotation marks. And I'm going to do Y max, quotation marks, comma, and then 100. And I'm going to hit enter. And you notice that our 25, that was really basically no line whatsoever, is actually now a normal line. It actually kind of looks like a quarter of the way up to the top of the cell. Our 90s are hard to tell because they were so high anyway. So if I come through here, I change these to 80s. Kind of see them slink down a little bit, and you see how the difference between the 85 and the 80 is in here. And so it actually is adjusting based off of a 0 to 100 scale. And so that's how I adjust my graph so that it makes sense for this particular data set. And again, now I've got it done for one, I click on this square, drag it down, and now it's going to adjust all of them to meet those minimum and maximum specifications there. So there's how you can add minimum and maximum. Check out that help, because there are a ton of options over here. It's all about formulas and functions, and commas have to be in the right spot, colons have to be in the right spot, and I have to look at them each time because, one, I don't use them as often as I needed, because it's not always needed, but it's very specific. So check out that learn more and see how you can adjust your Sparkline today.